During the mission Don't Lose Your Mind, you are presented with 3 options. Option A of resetting Delemain's core, Option B of destroying the core, or Option C of merging Delemain and the mini-Dells together. Which one should you go with? Well, that's what we'll be discussing in today's video. I'll explain how to unlock the mission, go through each option and rank them from worst to best. Without wasting any more time, let's get straight into it. Firstly, if you're like me, you would have been very confused on how to actually unlock the mission. So you have to firstly have completed all of the epistrophe missions where you actually help Delemain regain control over the mini-Dells, then drive on over to the city center and drive around the roundabout until you hit a roadblock of Delemain taxis. Then call up Delemain and this will trigger the mission. Okay, so you've unlocked the mission, but now let's get to the backstory on what's actually happening. Delemain hires V to retrieve some cabs that have developed free will and are causing chaos all throughout Night City. Eventually, Del tells you that he's infected with a virus that's affecting several of his taxis. When V suggests that they have become sentient, Delemain actually rejects this idea and only sees them as malfunctioning parts of himself that need to be reset. When you get to the end of the mission, you're presented with Delemain's core. Delemain, of course, asks you to reset the core.
Reset? Turn it.
But Johnny, on the other hand, wants you to destroy it because if you reset it, you'll be killing the mini-Dells.
Don't hit that button. Gonna murder a cab driver's kids because he asked you nicely and he's always been a good guy.
There is, however, the third option of merging both Delemain and the mini-Dells together.
If you don't want to free him, at least don't delete him. Slip him into Dell's code. Just merge him in his offshoots.
So what do you go for? Well, let's run through the pros and cons of every single option. Starting off with option A of resetting the core. If you reset the core, Delemain lives on and the rest of the mini-Dells get reset, basically killed, and integrated back into the main Delemain system. I should mention that this is the only ending where the Delemain taxi service will continue to run. Delemain will thank you and reward you with a cab from his fleet that acts exactly like Delemain but with memory loss, because that's literally what it is. As since you reset the core, Delemain actually loses all of his memories. Well, everything he knows will now come from his previous version.
I'm delighted to welcome you to your first Delemain experience. How might I assist you?
It's me, V.
But at least the cab will speak to you, make comments and conversations like Delemain usually would. And finally, Johnny will get super pissed off if you choose this option. If you care about his opinion, of course.
You're a real piece of shit.
Okay, now let's move on to option B, destroying the core. If you destroy the core, you essentially kill Delemain and go against his wishes. You will free all the mini-Dells, however, and allow them to go live their best lives with their newfound freedom. You're also left with a Delemain cap called Excelsior as a gift. However, after this mission ends, Excelsior will never speak to you again, not like how Delemain usually would. However, the mini-Dells will occasionally text you and send you pics of their new lives. This ending also makes Johnny very happy.
Fuck yeah, nice.
Now finally, let's move on to option C, merging them both together. If you merge them both together, Delemain gets an entirely new personality and decides he's too good for this and departs. But as a way of showing thanks, he leaves behind a taxi called Delemain Jr. to assist V. However, like option B, Delemain Jr. will stop speaking to you after the mission ends. Johnny also seems pretty pleased with this ending.
Not bad.
So now, which ending is best? Honestly, this might be very controversial, but the best option for me is option A of resetting the core. Let me explain myself. First reason, it's the professional thing to do. If your V is the no-nonsense type, the type that doesn't involve emotions with business, then this is definitely the right option for you. Delemain is paying you to reset the core, not to destroy it or to hack it. So that's what you do, because that's what you're getting paid for. You couldn't care less about the other stuff. That's none of your concern. You're not getting paid for that. Okay, reason number 2. The rewards are way better. This is the only option in which you actually get rewarded because you do what you're hired for. But I'm not talking about loot. I'm talking about the cab. Let me be clear. You get a Delemain cab in every single ending, but this is the only ending where the cab actually acts like Delemain. Nobody drives Delemain around because the car is fast or has good handling. You drive Delemain around for the comments, for the conversations, for the personality. This is the only ending that actually gives you that. And now for the third and final reason, V and Delemain actually like each other. Not romantically, but it's pretty obvious that V actually likes Delemain, as you can thank them for saving your life.
Never really had a good chance to thank you for saving my skin.
And V actually gets sad when they find out that Del doesn't remember them if you pick option A.
It's me, V. Don't remember me, do you? Damn shame. Come on, Johnny.
Plus, maybe I'm falling for the corporate propaganda, but I think Delemain definitely likes V. For proof, just think back to the heist when Del drove back V and Takamura to Vic's clinic even though it wasn't part of their contract.
Greetings. My scanner indicates you are outside the service area.
Anyways, that's my reasoning. I understand that killing the mini Dells is obviously very bad, but either way someone is dying, either Delemain or the mini Dells. And I care much more about Delemain than I do the mini Dells. Hey guys, Future Gani here. I just realized while looking back at this video, I missed out on so much information. I still stand by the decision I made, but it's only fair if I provide you more arguments for and against it. So argument number 1, Delemain is a terrible person because they fired all of the human workers in the company. In Delemain's defense, if human workers aren't needed, what's the point of hiring them? It's 2077 guys, everyone is getting replaced by machines. Plus, Delemain sent them all severance packages, which he didn't have to do, so... Okay, argument number 2, Delemain is a dangerous black hole AI. While I certainly won't deny this, all I'm going to say is his variants are significantly more dangerous than he is. So if you actually care about safety, you would not release the Delemain variants because they would cause much more damage than he would. Oh, and finally, argument number 3, Delemain could have saved Jackie's life, but they chose not to. While Delemain certainly could have broken the contract and went to a Ripper Dog to try to save Jackie, at that point, Jackie was basically dead. Plus, in Delemain's defense, he makes it up by later on saving V and Takamura's life when he didn't have to, so. Also, I can't believe I forgot to mention this, but of course, in order to actually merge the AIs, you need at least 10 intelligence, so it's just a less accessible option. Anyways, that's all from Future Me. Enjoy the video. Now, as for the second best option, call me crazy, but destroying the core is the second best option for me. Some of you guys might be super confused as to how merging both Delemain and the Delemain variants together is somehow the worst option. A lot of you guys see it as a compromise between both parties and nobody dies, so it must be the best choice. But is it? Is something a compromise if neither party gets any of what they want? Let me ask you. What does Delemain want? He wants total control back. He wants the variants gone. And what do the variants want? They all want their own individual freedoms. They want to be their own person. Or AI. So merging them together does that how exactly? Delemain certainly doesn't get what he wants because he's not in total control anymore. In fact, the Delemain that we know is gone. This is someone completely new entirely. This is almost the same thing as killing Delemain because it's not even him anymore. And as for the Delemain variants, they don't get what they want either. They're fused back into being one singular being. If anything, this is almost the exact opposite of what they want. They're not individually free anymore. They can't make their own choices anymore. They don't even exist anymore. Again, it's almost like killing them because this is an entirely new being. So my question to you is, what's better, making nobody happy or making just one person happy? Because I know my answer. So anyways, that's my ranking. Number 1, reset the core. Number 2, destroy the core. And number 3, merge them both together. Funnily enough, most people would actually have it the other way around. But I hope I managed to give you a convincing argument. But of course, if you disagree with me, be free to let me know down in the comments below. Tell me what option you think is the best and let me know what your order looks like. The order and ranking really just depends on what you value most. If you're like me and you value Delemain over the variants, then of course resetting the core would be your best shot. If you, however, value the variants more, if you value freedoms more, if you value going against the grain and chaos, then of course you would destroy the core. However, if you want to be diplomatic and kind of appeal to both parties and make no one entirely too upset, then you would merge them all together. But that's going to be the end of the video. If you have any other video ideas, please let me know down in the comments. If you want me to cover anything else, any piece of Cyberpunk lore, even before the actual game and the source books and tables of RPGs, let me know down below. Like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, follow my TikTok, it's the same as my YouTube handle. Follow my Instagram, fw.ghxni. I know the username is very corny, but I'll change it at some point. Have a great day and thank you so much for watching.